Hello everyone, this has been The Bold, and welcome back to another episode of our Icenia campaign. So, if you recall from the last episode, we have just been called into a war by our lovely friends, these bright green guys, the Durotriga. They, it seems, have attacked the Demonians, and they have called us into the war. But while they are looking to get this little bit of Cornwall, we are looking to finish off our conquest of Wales. So, I have gone ahead and I have started moving my 8,000 troops. I believe these are all my tribal levies. That's perfect. I am moving them. They are going to sit on this fort until they take it. I'm going to go ahead and move about 10,000 more men there in support. They're actually going to sit here because they are now outnumbered. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling them back. That's going to be okay. I will soon have these 10,000 men there to support them. And we will take whatever land is lost. I think this fort should... I am going to lose some territory for just a second, but I think this fort should hold them in check. I'm going to go ahead and move my armies in position. You are... Yes, perfect. You are already going where I want you to go. Oh, well, you'll look at this. We are almost making 10 research points per month as a tribe. Also very soon, probably as soon as this war is over, I am going to be looking to hit the decision to embrace autocracy. I am trying to make the Icenia into a powerful kingdom. I will have to wait a second before I can hit that button again, but I'm trying to make the Icenia into a powerful kingdom, and part of that means conquering more land, hopefully. Although I am not the war leader, hopefully that if I can conquer this land, they will get my allies will give it to me. Although I don't have too much of a belief that they will give me the land that I so desire. Either way, I feel like they've helped me out in so many wars. All my allies have helped me out in so many wars. I feel at this point, even though I do plan on backstabbing them whenever I get the chance, and taking all of their land as well, I do feel like it's just the neighborly thing to do, especially since they helped me so much, to support them in their war. I think I'm going to hold off and not try to besiege this, or I'm going to besiege it, I'm not going to assault this fort. I'm just going to siege it down the old-fashioned way. They can't attack me. They're not going to attack me. I'm not going to attack. I'm not going to be able to move past this fort, so we are just kind of in a standoff until I take the fort. You, though, I want you to stop. How'd you get by me? Did they come through the Dominions? I do have low food supply. It's just here. I'm not too worried about that. Not in the slightest. I do want to just take a look at... Nope, looks like I did engage them in battle, or my neighbors, my allies engaged them in battle. We looked in... took care of them quite easily. I'm just looking around at my culture. I might start building some... some theaters around. That should make more of my pops Icenic. For instance, oh no, looks like I have a death of one of my clan chiefs. That is unfortunate, but a new clan chief, should be proclaimed rather shortly. Yeah, I might start going ahead and thinking about building some theaters. This siege seems to be going well. I am getting plenty of ally support. That is good. Oh, looks like we have an event veterans due. We can offer something at least. This one I could lose 67 gold, but gain some loyalty among several of my characters, although all of them are already pretty high loyalty and the morale of their armies would drop. I don't really want that. I don't want this. I don't want them to lose loyalty and lose morale, and me lose stability. So instead, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. It just says you do not have enough farmlands to please the veterans, but giving them something. might help assuage their anger, so I'm going to go with this and just see what happens, I guess? Who knows? They are just going to keep sending just a little 100 stacks at me. I'm not worried about that. I am totally fine if the Dobunian fort falls here. I will be able to mop it up. But at this point, the Dobunians, I have a feeling, unless this war goes really well for the Durotrigas, they are going to be my toughest opponent in the future. Looks like my siege was won. That's good. I unfortunately didn't. I'm just going to let the looting be gentle. No, I don't know if I'm going to get them. I want plenty of money. Maybe I'll get some slaves. And now I want to move my armies in. Look at this. I am so close, just 4 years away from getting a new martial advance. That's great. Speaking of great, it isn't going to take me much for me to completely occupy the rest of Wales. Well, except for this little country. Who are you? What have you been up to? You're not allied with anyone in particular. You know what? Fabricate claim. Also, I can hit this button again. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to hit that button every time I can. You're just going to go ahead and go back to Deva. You are going to go back to Camel and Dunham. Oh, more pirates. You know, I think it might actually be time to start rebuilding my fleet. I originally disbanded it to save just a little bit of money, but fleets don't cost a ton. Here I am in Brano Dunham, and I think I'm actually going to start rebuilding my navy, because eventually I am going to hopefully use my navy. I think before maybe starting to try to conquer northern modern-day France and northern Gaul, I think I'm going to probably launch several just show superiority wars, or maybe show naval superiority wars, and just try to go in there and just take some slave pops and just send some slaves back into Great Britain over here. Oh, looks like my allies have indeed allowed me to capture, or to claim, what I have so rightfully conquered, and they are allowing me to annex this country. I'm going to go ahead and get that aggressive expansion down. Speaking of aggressive expansion down, I am going to switch from the neutral stance to the appeasing stance. That's going to help me just drop it down ever so quicker. It's still going to take a while. Although it's coming down by 0.12 a month, so that's not terrible. Is there any way I can increase that? Maybe a better arbitrator? I feel like we just looked at this. National freeman happiness? Sure. Plus some extra money? Awesome. Arbitrator, you have a 7. No, you're still just as good as we can do. That's okay. I'm not going to complain too much. We're going to let that slowly tick down and start just rebuilding our navy. I do think I like the idea of declaring a couple wars just to try to increase my pops. Maybe if I can find someone who doesn't have super large tangled alliances. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to start trying to expand into Gaul quite yet, although that is certainly a goal that I have down the line. Let's check out our civilization value in Vienna. 48%, and we are increasing it at the moment. As soon as that hits 50, assuming my stability is still high, I'm going to hit Embrace Autocracy and become a kingdom, with grand eyes on eventually uniting Britannia, and then eventually, of course, uniting Albion. Once Albion is united, well, the world should be our oyster. If Rome isn't too strong and hasn't expanded too much into Gaul, I would love to take as much of Gaul as possible. And we'll just see what I can do before the time limit runs out. I think now I'm actually going to, I feel like I have finally gotten enough manpower back where I'm going to just stop spamming the national manpower recovery speed, And instead, now I really do want to focus on research. So I could hit monthly civilization change, but I'm already civilizing fairly quickly, and really I need to just keep pumping the max civilization I can. So I'm going to go ahead and hit, instead, national citizen output. That should hopefully give me some more commerce, as well as maybe some more research, because I know citizens produce research. I can build a couple more buildings. You are almost completely scenic. I think I'm going to come, let's see, where are some of my population centers? Oh gosh, that gets ugly, doesn't it? Oh dear. Let's see, there's a population center here. There's 7 tribes. There's 13, and not very many. Well, actually, most of them are Iceni, and it's a settlement, not even a city. I could think about saving up and turning this into a city. I would need to spend quite a bit of political influence and 250 gold, but I actually have 184 gold already, so that's not terrible. Although I might throw some of that away. No, I'm just going to let him lose some loyalty. I'm going to keep my gold, at least for the moment. Let's look at trade routes. Still not able to do much there. I am fabricating a claim, so that's good. Who are you allied with? No one. That's unfortunate. That means you're going to be conquered. Let's go ahead and move my armies in position. Oh. He's already pretty old. I didn't expect him to last very long in the first place. He is 71 years old, although he still has plenty of health. He's probably going to start getting all these nasty diseases and sicknesses to go ahead and bring that health bar down. Poor guy. So yes, I think I am going to start off by just finishing off the conquest of Wales. Just taking these couple of provinces probably won't push my aggressive expansion up so much. And even if I take the event to full annex them and get the aggressive expansion down when I do that, I probably will actually gain less aggressive expansion than I remove from that event after you full annex a country. I am going to get the natural resources tradition. Doing so will make my light infantry, or my light cavalry, as well as my chariots a little bit cheaper. I'm really doing this, though, to move down the line a little bit and go for glory of the hunt. Now, I have not been to, basically just so I can save money, I haven't been exercising, drilling my armies. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I would like to increase the amount of military experience that I get. Now, well, you're now my army too. I'll leave them not exercising. For freedom, so I could have 2 slaves become freemen, that's good. Or I could gain 154, you know what, in this case I want the popularity and I want the freemen. And I already have plenty of money. I know I am saving up. In fact, I'm probably going to save up and convert one of my provinces into a city. It's probably going to be this guy right here. I do see that some of the cities in southern England that I don't own are becoming rather large. Let's look here. They have 25 people in it. I only have 33 in my capital, but it does seem that Venta, the capital of the Iceni, is still the largest city in the British Isles, at least for the moment. We'll see what happens in the future. My claim is being fabricated rather quickly. Unfortunately, my aggressive expansion is not reducing as fast as I would like it to, but I've done pretty much what I can do. I'm making sure that my arbitrator is the best that she can be, which unfortunately her charisma is only 7, but even worse, I don't have anyone better than that. I have also switched to the appeasing stance, which helps my aggressive expansion decay a little bit faster by 0.2% per month. Still don't have any trade goods that I can trade for. I'm still trying to increase my research ratio. I'm still working on pumping, turning pops into citizens. Although I could think about building another library here in Venta. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. I know I'm saving up money to turn this place, or Bentio, into a city, but I want another library. What's the trade good? Precious metals. Okay. What's the building that was already built here? A mine. Ooh. So they have a mine. Do I want to trade that into a... Alright, I could get minus 0.03 monthly centralization, and that's the only negative. But if I come over here and look at how much my centralization is increasing, yeah, I'm not, instead of losing some loyalty, although I would gain some popularity, but instead of losing some loyalty, I'm just going to click this button. Now I do have a claim on the Parisians. Could go ahead and declare that war. Ooh, they also don't have any allies at the current moment. Yeah, I'm going to bring my armies to bear so that I can attack them. In the meanwhile, I will keep building my navy. Oops. Miraculous recovery. Oh! I'm in remission from my previous ailment. I guess that is that infection. Good for them. I'm going to turn my fleet maintenance to minimum because I don't really need it. I'm still just in the build-up phase. But I'm thinking maybe I will get... Let's just do some more Liburnians. I already have 3. Let's do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those. Again, that spent quite a bit of money. I am saving up. I promise to eventually make a new city. I also can keep expanding my army. But I do think it's important to go ahead and start building up a navy. Well, here's a chance to get some money, or I can just get some tribesmen to appear out of the thin air. You know, I don't have... I want the tribesmen. They will eventually promote to become citizens or freemen. And I think that in the long run, that will help me more than just getting 2 additional, or 27 gold. Real quick, I just want to look and see, while my armies are moving into place, what's happening in the rest of the world. Rome, they look pretty stagnant. They seem to have come up into Gaul, which I'm kind of okay with, because, well, no, I want Rome to be nice and powerful, and the more they come up into Gaul, the more they're going to run into cultural issues, religious issues. Whereas if they kept expanding on the Italian peninsula, especially down here in the Magna Graecia, they would become much stronger, much quicker. Carthage seems to be doing what Carthage does, although they don't have as much control over North Africa as I feel like they used to. Phrygia, ooh, there seems to be an interesting war between Armenia and Colchis, and Phrygia looks to have taken quite a bit of Seleucid land. So it's just kind of a check-in with the rest of the world. My armies are now in place. They do not have any allies. I don't really see a point in dragging my allies into this, but you know what? Why not? They're not going to take any of the land. They are not at full maintenance either, so I should easily be able to defeat them. I'm not even going to bother bringing up my armies from the south. You know what? I'll bring one up. My archers and chariots. I might think about building some more chariots now that I think about it. build more chariots on you. I'm at low naval maintenance. I know they have a navy that I am technically at war with. I, with 8 ships, even at low maintenance, could probably handle their navy. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I don't need a navy to win this war. Although, if I was blockading, it might help break this siege, but I am at the current moment not super worried about the siege anyway, because they are about to completely be out of men, in which case this war is just over. Well, Parisia and I may lose some opinion with each other. I'm okay with that. It's what happens when war goes on anyway. And so now all I have to do is simply wait to siege down their capital, siege down their last remaining province, and send my men home once again. Looks like I took another slave. I am all for that. Look here, our first military advancement, our first research advancement just in general has just happened. Now, let's see, it is going to be about 26 or 20-something, 23 years before our, at least at the current research rate, going to have our next research advancement. But this allows us to increase siege ability. We're in the middle of a siege right now. Also increase our heavy infantry discipline. And then I'm also, of course, going to take this military provincial investment cost down too. But I am draining my treasury quite enough. It looks like the Siluria have escaped Judgment Day for the time being while I move my armies up north. They don't have any allies. I could go ahead and just handle them as well. Seems to be mostly just a consolidation of power kind of episode, but that's what we have to do. We are just slowly clobbering up all of the lesser powers here on Britain before we inevitably will have to break our alliances and attack those who really helped us get to the point where we are at. I almost feel bad. Almost. He doesn't feel bad. He's very excited. Because he is a founder. He likes to found countries and kingdoms. Speaking of founding kingdoms, I'm going to hit this button one more time. And very soon I will be above 50 civilization value, in which case I will be able to form a kingdom. In the meantime, though, I could have Siluria lose 40 opinion of me, but have 2 slaves appear, or just have 2 tribesmen appear. I'm going to go ahead and just have the slaves appear, since I'm going to go to war with Siluria momentarily anyway, as soon as my armies arrive. So, well, as soon as my claim is fabricated. We have won the siege. We have won the war. We are going to sue for peace. It is going to increase our aggressive expansion by, unfortunately, by 2. That's okay, because we're also going to get the event that lowers aggressive expansion by 0.5. And that's going to slowly tick down. And when I say slowly, I mean very slowly tick down. They do have 12,000 men. That might actually be a fight. Although if I have 20,000, I think we'll be just fine. Let's see what kind of troops they have. It looks like they have a lot of archers, chariots, and light infantry. It just so happens that that is what most of my countries, or most of my armies are made up of as well. Offer some wood. It's perfect. Still making plenty of cash. I think I'm going to come somewhere that has horses. I know that you have horses. And I'm going to start building some horsemen. I'm thinking 5 of them. I want a nice, quick, light cavalry army. And once again, here I go. This, unfortunately, will probably be the last war that I call these allies into, because after that, I feel like I will have to start chipping away at my alliance block, reducing their strength, and of course, eventually conquering them. Let's see, I could think about just ending this war early and assaulting this fort. I certainly have the manpower. And it would prevent the... Well, I'll see what kind of siege rolls I get. I might think about doing it if... I don't know, if an ally's army parks on top here too, they already have a supply shortage. Maybe if I get a breach, I'll do it. Although I'm a little worried that the Debunians will try to occupy this land and won't want to give it to me. We have a food shortage. Uh-oh, someone has died. He did occupy. Oh, he's my war chief. I'll make you the new war chief. Just makes my cohorts recruit faster. It's sad that he died, but I think our country will live on. Yeah, I think I am going to go ahead and not assault this fort. Just let it be besieged in the normal way. Are they going to win this fight? They do have the tactics advantage, but they are so outnumbered, but it appears that they won't have any issues. And we, once again, have taken a slave. It's gone to Brandunium, which, that's my port, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe I would think about turning this into a city. I don't want more than one city in the province of Icenia. What about you? Are you a city? No, you're just a settlement. Port cities are helpful because those ports increase migration attraction. Londinium, obviously, would be a good place to build a city, even though it is right across the river from Canlandunum. Deva. Maybe Deva would be a good place to build a city eventually. Are you a city, by any chance? Nope, just a settlement. Still don't have a wall breach, but with only 587 men, I might think about assaulting this. No, there's no point. There's no point in wasting my men like that. They will fall eventually. They don't have any more armies. I'm not trying to rush this. It will be okay. I do have 10 boats. I think let's see how much they cost to maintain on low maintenance. It's 0.55 per month. think I'll go ahead and maybe just get one more for now. Except this time I'm going to go with a slightly bigger boat. I'm going to go with the Petrine. Oh no, I might lose 81 funds, or my arbitrator could lose 20 loyalty, and my pop conversion speed would go down till you're 500 for 5 years, and National Freeman happiness. That's not great. Whereas that increases my pop conversion speed, which is good. I would gain 10 political influence, which is good. I just don't have 81 ducats. I don't really want to go into the negative, so unfortunately I am going to lose some pop conversion speed. How sad. My soon-to-be king has just gotten diphtheria. In this case, I'm going to let the looting be gentle because I'm going to take the land right now. Hopefully this won't increase my aggressive expansion too much, by 2. Alright, I can live with that. I'm going to take the land, reduce the aggressive expansion by 0.5, and that is where we're going to call it quits for today. The Iceni have completely taken over the central British region. They are starting to stake a claim in largest name competition, although Rome and Phrygia are of course, and well, actually, I think Armenia. Well, okay. Besides the Marians, I think the Armenians might have the largest name. Maybe the Bactrians, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And in the next episode, we look forward to turning Sonorus here from a tribal chief and into a king. I hope you all are having a great day. I've been Ben the Bold. You have been you, and I will see you tomorrow.